They told you to be realistic, to keep your head down, to play it safe, wait your turn, follow the rules, and maybe, just maybe, life would reward you for your patience. But deep down, something inside you always knew that was a lie. You weren't born to wait. You weren't made to blend in. And you were never meant to sit quietly in the corner of life, hoping someone else would hand you your destiny. No, you were born with the divine right to imagine and then to act as if the vision in your mind was already your reality. This is not fantasy. This is not delusion. This is power. Because the truth is, the world doesn't respond to what's real, it responds to what you believe is real. And when you carry yourself with the certainty of someone who already has it, who already is it, who already knows it's done, that's when the world starts to shift. That's when the doors open, the people arrive, and the impossible bows down before you. Not because you hoped, not because you begged, but because you embodied the outcome long before anyone else could see it. That's the power of acting as if it's already done. It's how Edison lit the world, how Carnegie built an empire, how Disney turned a sketch into an empire of dreams. These men didn't wait for permission. They didn't sit around wondering if it would happen. They knew. And because they knew, they moved like it was already theirs. They walked into rooms that told them no, with the posture of someone who had already heard. Yes, that's what belief looks like when it becomes action. And belief, when it becomes behavior, bends reality. Understand this. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So the question is not, how do I get there? The question is, who do I need to become right now, today, to match the energy of the life I say I desire? Because if your vision is 5 years ahead of your habits, your posture, your tone of voice, your sense of worth, then you're not aligned with the outcome you're orbiting it, and orbiting your dreams is not the same as owning them. You want to manifest something real? Then act like it's already yours. Talk like it. Walk like it. Make decisions like it. Because energy precedes manifestation. Your internal reality, the beliefs you embody, are the blueprint of what the external world will become. Think about the greats. Henry Ford didn't just build a car, he built a belief system. While the world scoffed and said, "That's impossible," he stared them in the eye and replied, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." That's not a slogan, that's a law. Because the mind is not a passive observer, it's a projector. And when you project certainty, confidence, completion, the universe reorganizes itself to reflect that frequency. But most people don't live like that. They hesitate. They doubt. They wait for external proof before they take internal ownership. And that's why they stay stuck. Because they've reversed the order of creation. They think life is a reaction game. Once I see it, I'll believe it. But real creators know, once I believe it, I'll see it. And I won't just see it, I'll move like it. I'll take the risks no one else will take. I'll speak with a fire no one else can fake. I'll burn the bridges behind me because I've already crossed them in my mind. That's what it means to act as if it's already done. It's not pretending. It's not delusion. It's alignment. It's living from the frequency of fulfillment, not from the emptiness of lack. Because when you live in lack, I need, I want, I hope, you're broadcasting a signal of desperation. And desperation repels destiny. But when you live in completion, it's already mine. I already am. It is done. You emit a signal of power. And power is magnetic. Power doesn't chase. Power attracts. You want to become the kind of person who bends reality? Then understand, you are not trying to manifest something into existence. You are collapsing time between who you are and who you're meant to be. And the shortest path is identity. Act as if. Speak as if. Move as if. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. Because now is the only frequency the universe understands. It doesn't respond to later. It responds to presence. And presence is the ultimate proof of belief. It's easy to say you believe, but how you carry yourself reveals the truth. Are you walking like the door will open? Are you speaking like the vision is already real? Are you dressing, investing, and deciding like the version of you who already crossed the finish line? Or are you waiting for someone to show up and hand you a permission slip to become who you were born to be? Because that permission slip doesn't exist. You are the author. You are the key. You are the ignition and the fuel. You either live like it's already done, or you live like it's forever out of reach. There is no middle. And the moment you choose, the world reacts. You see, the universe is not neutral. It listens. It watches. It mirrors. But it only responds to certainty. Not arrogance, not ego, but deep-rooted conviction. The kind that moves mountains. The kind that speaks before it's spoken to. The kind that risks everything because it's already seen the outcome. That's what Edison had when he failed 10,000 times. That's what Mandela had when he walked free after 27 years and declared a new reality for his people. That's what Oprah had when she refused to let her story end in poverty and pain. They weren't playing make-believe. They were moving in alignment with a version of reality so real to them that it became real for everyone else. And that is creation. That's how mountains are moved. Not with brute force, but with unshakable internal vision. With the frequency of a mind that refuses to ask for permission to become. You don't rise by waiting. You rise by assuming the throne within. You rise by acting as if every cell in your body knows it's already done. That's the key to freedom. Not just financial freedom. Not just success. Soul freedom. The kind that doesn't need applause to keep going. The kind that doesn't flinch when the critics arrive. The kind that keeps building, keeps breathing, keeps believing because it already saw the blueprint long before the first brick was laid. Let the world call you crazy. Let them say it's not realistic. Let them laugh, doubt, reject. Good. That's how you know you're on the right path. Because no one ever changed the world by following the rules of people who gave up on their own dreams. You want to live a life no one else lives? Then you have to think in ways no one else thinks, and move in ways no one else dares to move. You must live in advance, feel in advance, act in advance, because the world doesn't give you what you're worthy of. It gives you what you claim. Understand this. You are not designed to live a life dictated by chance. You are designed to command it. The moment you act as if the victory is already yours, the game changes. Because now, you're not chasing anything. You're aligning with it. You're walking in rhythm with the reality that already exists in the unseen. Not someday, not if the stars align. Now, when the Wright brothers decided to fly, the world called it impossible. They didn't have the money. They didn't have the education. They didn't have the approval of the experts. But they had one thing more powerful than the laws of physics: conviction. They acted like it was already done. They failed. They bled. They broke machines. But they kept showing up with the belief that the sky was already theirs, and the universe finally caught up. It always does. But only for the ones bold enough to keep acting from the vision, not the visible. And you've got a choice to make right now. Will you keep living in the reflection of who you used to be? Or will you become a mirror of who you're destined to become? Because reality is a copy machine, it prints whatever identity you feed it, and most people are feeding it fear, scarcity, waiting, hoping, doubting. but you've seen something bigger. And once you've seen, you can't unsee. You can't go back to the shallow version of you who played it safe just to fit into rooms that were never built for your brilliance. You weren't born to beg for permission. You were born to walk with presence. You weren't born to strive endlessly for a scrap of success. You were born to own it with humility and power in the same breath. This is what happens when you live from the outcome. You don't wonder if you're worthy, you embody worth. You don't ask if it's realistic, you redefine reality. You don't try to become, you declare that you already are. And when you do that consistently with no breaks, no apologies, no shrinking back when it gets uncomfortable, the world moves. Resources move. People show up. Doors swing open where there were only walls. But only if you keep walking. And not walking timidly, walking like you already belong. This is what acting as if truly means. It's not pretending. It's not faking it. It's collapsing time by choosing identity over evidence. It's being loyal to your vision even when the mirror doesn't yet reflect it, because the mirror lies, it only shows you the past, but your mind, your imagination, that's the projector. You lead with that, and everything else will catch up. Look at Carnegie. He was a poor immigrant child working 12-hour shifts for a few dollars a week. But in his mind, he was already a titan. He read. He studied. He imagined. He learned how to think like wealth before he ever held it. He carried himself like power before he ever earned a title. He treated his time, his words, and his thoughts like they were gold because to him, they already were. And that energy magnetized opportunities he would have missed if he stayed stuck in the identity of poor boy with no chance. The identity came first, the world followed after, and this isn't a luxury for the chosen few. This is the secret every great one lived by. Ford didn't build the Model T because he hoped the world was ready. He decided the world needed it, and he walked with that certainty through mockery and resistance and every no thrown at him. Because his vision wasn't waiting for approval, it was waiting for motion. That's the law. Move like it's already done, and the world arranges itself to match the frequency of your movement. But sit still, wait, doubt. You send the signal that it's not real, and the world will agree. So don't ask the world for signs. Become the sign. Don't look for proof. Be the proof. Because energy is louder than words, and when your energy screams, I am, the world listens. But make no mistake, this isn't for the faint of heart. You will be tested. You'll feel alone. You'll have moments where nothing outside you reflects what you believe inside. But this is when the real leaders are forged. Not in celebration, but in isolation. Not in comfort, but in conviction. Because acting as if it's already done means you walk through the valley with the posture of the mountain. You show up broke like you're already wealthy. You speak softly like the most powerful person in the room. You serve now like you've already impacted millions. You treat your small beginnings like sacred ground, because the future you're walking into already lives there. You think Kobe waited until he was a champion to train like one. He trained at 4 a.m. when no one was watching. He acted like the trophy was already in his hands. And that mindset turned him into a legend before the world ever called his name. So now it's your turn. Your results will not define you. Your rituals will, and rituals are born from identity. The identity of someone who knows, not guesses, not hopes, knows who they are and where they're going. You don't act like a millionaire when the money comes. You act like one now in how you think, speak, spend, give, and show up every day. You don't lead when you have the team. You lead now in your habits, in your self-respect, in your vision. You don't speak with power when people finally listen. You speak with power now because your words shape the space around you. That's the discipline of belief. It's not about ego. It's about energetic alignment. It's about becoming so clear, so grounded, so unshakable in your identity that even when results lag, you don't. You keep moving. You keep speaking. You keep showing up like it's already done, because to you it is. And the universe? It doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards alignment. It rewards the one who acts in faith long before there's feedback. The one who doesn't just ask, but expects. The one who doesn't just dream, but demands with grace. So decide now. You're not hoping. You're not waiting. You're not trying. You're embodying. And once you do, you'll find that the mountain was never in your way. It was inside you waiting for you to rise and remember. You were the summit all along. So remember this. Not with your mind, but with your soul. You don't have to wait for anything to happen. You are the cause, not the result. Acting as if it's already done isn't fantasy. It's unshakable belief. It's the silent declaration you send into the universe that says, I have decided. I have believed. I have become. Because when you live as though the dream has already come true, you don't just attract it. You transform your very vibration into the force that commands it. Edison acted as if the electric light was inevitable. Walt Disney walked through swampland as if the castle already stood before him. Lincoln stood in the middle of division and war as if unity had already been won. They didn't need proof. They acted as if it was done. And that's what summoned the miracle. This world doesn't respond to doubt. It bows to conviction, to those who have already made the choice, and live as though it is already real. You don't need permission. You don't need all the answers. You need only one thing. Act as if it's already yours. And then the world will have no choice but to reflect back the person you've decided to become. Walk, move, live as if it's already finished, and then you'll realize it always was.